Coming up, Brady Ellison looks to continue his strong start to the World Archery season. Will we see more individual Russian women's success in Turkey? And we find out more about Dutch star Chef van den Berg. Last time out, we witnessed Korean dominance in Shanghai with gold medals for Kang Chae-young and Lee Woo-seok at Stage 2 of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup. Now, we're in Turkey's seaside playground, Antalya, for Stage 3. Gold medals are up for grabs on Recurve Sunday and places in September's World Cup finals in Moscow. It's already beginning to look like a vintage year for the USA's Brady Ellison. After gold in Medellin, he took bronze in Shanghai, and now he's in the final of Stage 3 as well. Facing him is Steve Viola of the Netherlands. The world number 2 was looking back to his best after disappointment in the last stage. And it's a cracking start. Now adrift, and you can see Viola already adjusting something on the sight.
Right there.
Mackenzie, your teammate, nailing another 10 as Brady's wife looks on.
Yeah, Toya Ellison from Slovenia,
good job.
watching her husband on the line shooting in this gold medal match. Lots
She doesn't
of
look as
support from
nervous
her.
as you.
No, I'm enjoying it.
2 10s from the American. A 9 to finish off, but that puts it out of reach. Viola's 8 in the first arrow. Let's put him in a position where he can't level up, but he does finish with 2 10s. The adjustment to the sight, good for Viola, but the set points in the first set go to the American, who is in a rich vein of form. Here are the 2 10s from Brady Ellison. The first one really, really close indeed. That must have given a whole load of confidence.
Tempo. Negen half, laag, beetje links.
Nice.
Mayo, tempo. Negen half, links op hoogte.
More adjustments from the Dutch archer here. Steve Viola shooting 2 9s.
That's okay.
Drift over to the left again as Toya looks on.
Laat maar zien. Tempo. Ja, 9 of 10.
So a 10
That's
here
special.
to go 4 set points to 0 up.
Yep.
And that was exactly what Ellison did. 2 10s and a 9 again from him. High quality shooting from the American. He's already 4-0 up. He needed a 10 to secure those 2 set points.
Yep.
And just when he needed it, he lands it. And look, it's like he knows that it's going into the 10 before he stepped onto the shooting line. A really confident American, Steve Viola, affording us a little smile here, but he knows that he's got to start finding the 10s in order to put some kind of pressure on the in-form man, Brady Ellison.
Laat maar zien. Tempo. Ja, 9,9 linksom. Jammer, jammer.
Just outside the 10 there.
Good holding. Right there. Driving. Yep. Nice.
Right in the middle.
Tempo. Ja, jongen. Goed,
There
jongen,
we
met
go.
elkaar. Prima.
Really centered shot there from Steve.
Settle 1, 2.
Settle them down.
Keep
Great view here. So you watch
Right
the
there.
smooth, controlled release from Ellison.
They've upgraded Steve's to a 9 asterisk there because it's pretty close to the 10 line there. But even his coach called it a 9.
good job.
So I
Next.
think that's something to keep in mind here. Brady shoots a 10, has a chance to potentially
focus.
win him the match.
Well, this is it. And he gets another perfect, well, now it's marked as a 9, and that's going to a measure. At the moment, it's 29 apiece, and that will mean the set points are shared, but we've got 2 arrows, one from each archer, that are subject to a measure. Here's the target judge. See if we can have a listen.
10, 10, 10.
That sounds like a 10-10-10 for Ellison.
Okay, stone. Target 1. Target 3.
And it stays as a 9 for Steve Viola, and a 10-10-10, perfect score for Ellison, and he is confirmed as the winner here in Antalya. It's his 2nd stage win of the year out of 3 medals in the 3 stages as well. He's the in-form man, and he's the champion of Antalya. More glory then for Brady Ellison, and so far we know that Lee Woo-Suk will be joining him in September's World Cup finals.
It was just one of those days. From the very first arrow I shot on the practice field, I just knew I was going to be on and that I was going to have a good day.
Chef Vandenberg is hoping to make an impact when his home country hosts the World Championships in 's-Hertogenbosch in June. We've been finding out more about this Dutch star.
I think when I was about 12 or 13, I decided like, okay, it seems like I'm better than the other people in my age group, and it seems like I'm better than the people next to me, so maybe I should do something more with this. Around those years, I really decided to just go for it and to see how far I would get in archery. It's difficult to say why I love archery. I think it's the fact that you do everything at that particular moment yourself, so you're not dependent on your teammate, or you're not depending on your coach. You can just put your full effort into it and get an immediate result. I think most people will, that know me well, will agree with me that in 2014 I was a bit of a brat. Like, I would get really upset if I lost something or if I shot a bad arrow. Like, I've broken arrows over my leg, and just because I was so mad at the way I was shooting. I feel between the seasons of 2014 and 2015, like in the winter between those years, the mental training I was doing sort of picked up, and I understood better what I was supposed to do and what I wasn't supposed to do. I think that score-wise only improved me a little bit, but on the deciding moments I was more able to put the arrow in the 10 when it mattered.
And I think Chef can do that with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
Got him open for that 10, and there's the gold medal. The Dutchman does it.
I used to try to be someone who I wasn't. I looked up at the top guys in archery, and I thought, like, okay, I need to be like that. And then over the last couple of years, I've realized that it's more important to just be who I am and to feel comfortable in my own skin. I shoot purely for myself, and there's always this aspect of trying to win medals, even though when you shoot well and you don't win a medal, you can still be content with it.
Well, he's done it. The perfect start for Chef Vandenberg.
So when I shoot a match like in Colombia in the bronze medal match against Kim Woojin, where I shoot like outstanding for my standards, there's not much you can do about that, and you can only look back and think, okay, that was great, but he was just that little bit greater. I feel like those matches are easier to accept than, for instance, the match in Shanghai that I shot against Brady, where I had a slow start as well, and then I couldn't get back from that, because then it feels like you just got like obliterated. 5 years ago, I wasn't stable enough mentally to get to this point, to get to the finals and shoot a good match, because I would be too nervous and too scared of what people would think about me. Now I'm just trying my best and enjoying the fact that I am shooting so well. I think understanding in archery is believing in yourself and believing that when you shoot an arrow that's not as good as you want it to be, it can still be good enough at that moment.
In the women's team final, Chinese Taipei were expecting a tough match against a Mexican trio who were silver medalists at the last World Championships. It was a shaky start from Chinese Taipei, but despite the Mexicans' best efforts, they recovered well to take the first set. In the second set, it was the Mexicans who made the early running with 3 10s. But Chinese Taipei finished strongly to split the set points. Mexico tried their hardest to get back into the match in the third set, but their opponents never looked like dropping serious points and closed out the match to take gold.
And she gets a 9. It was a brilliant second half to the first set from Chinese Taipei. They scored 3 10s and they haven't looked back since.
It would have been easy for a young Chinese team to become overawed by their opponents in the men's gold medal match. The Italians boasted 2 Olympic team champions in Marco Gallazio and Mauro Nespoli. Italy began in the 9s, with 5 of them in total in the first set. After a couple of 10s, China had a chance to secure the set.
Oh, just dropping into the 8 when there was a big opportunity there for China.
Italy was struggling to hit top form, and Mauro Nespoli wasn't quite at his best. China knew a 10 with their final arrow would take the set. A 9 meant the decision rested on a measure.
So 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 8, target 2.
Italy have been marked a 9 for the first arrow. So China do indeed take the set points in the second set and lead by 3-1 in this gold medal match.
A pair of 8s in the third set didn't do much for Italian chances. The pressure landed on 18-year-old Wei Xiaoshan.
Oh, a lovely shot from Wei Xiaoshan there. He needed a 10 to take it, and he absolutely nailed it down the middle to the delight of the Chinese officials in the crowd. They're very happy because they have taken the gold medal here in Antalya.
Still to come, there's drama in the mixed team gold medal match. Will we see more Russian dominance in the women's individual gold? And we're finding out more about the clicker on the recurve bow. The mixed team gold medal match was not one many would have predicted at the start of the week. Spain, featuring 17-year-old Elia Canales, came up against Russia. Whether it was nerves or inexperience, Spain didn't start well, and that cost them early on. Russia finished with a score of 36, and it was enough to take the first set. The second set rested on a measure for the second Russian arrow, and the eventual outcome was a share of the set points.
Well, I think you heard it for yourselves there. There is a 10 in the Russian 4 arrows, and there we go. It's now 3-1 to Russia.
Spain needed a big performance in the third set to keep themselves in the match, and they produced one. The pressure swung back on Russia, and they couldn't come up with an answer. The match was all square heading into the fourth set, with the prospect of a shoot-off looming. Russia set Spain a target of 37 to beat. And they rose to the challenge to take the top spot on the podium. A fine win for the Spaniards, who had come from behind. We've been finding out a bit more about the recurve bow, in particular the clicker. What it is, what it does, and how it helps the archer.
As a recurve archer, we're trying to get the smaller group as possible, so for that we need the arrow to be travelling at the same speed, so we need the same power and we need the same draw length. The clicker is a thin piece of metal that's about 10 centimetres long. It's screwed into the top, and then there's normally a plastic bit at the bottom where it touches the arrow. I load the arrow underneath the clicker so that when I pull the bow back, it clicks in the same place every time. The clicker should not control you, rather you should use it as an indication that you're at the right draw length and you're ready to go. When I'm coming into full draw, my front arm is set up strong with the power going towards the target with the sight on the gold, and I'll expand through the back. When the clicker goes, I will be ready to go on the sea of the click. You should know that the clicker's in the right place when you're able to set the front up strong and be able to make a small amount of expansion before it drops. You need to be able to have a fairly consistent draw length before you start considering using a clicker. The clicker won't give you control, rather you need to have the control before you start using the clicker as an indicator. For the best archers, most of the draw is a really big movement, but the last 2 millimeters, the expansion, that is where the clicker comes to play, and that is what makes the difference at the target.
Sayana Triarimpilova is hoping to keep a strong Russian grip on the women's gold here in Antalya. Her compatriot Ksenia Perova has stood on top of the podium in Turkey in 2017 and 2018. Facing Sayana in this year's final was 21-year-old Chinese archer Zheng Yichai.
Oh, good sight with that 9, and she's back in the middle. But it's 2 10s from Zheng to start this one off. Well, that one's slipping out into the 8. So the points are there for the taking. An 8 or better. Oh, she just gets
enough.
them. And that's all you need, as you often say, Mackenzie. You just need to beat your opponent by 1 point.
That's true.
There's a cracking start from Zheng Yichai. First arrow must have given her lots of confidence. Straight into the X ring. And then followed up with another 10, and just nodding her head there. Yes, coach, I know, I shot well.
That's a good way to start.
Well, well, well.
Really long hold and a very unfortunate shot.
Now, you don't often see a 3, but it opens the door for Triarimpilova. Well, good recovery from that 3. But this is going to be way out of reach after this arrow. And right into the middle of the target. And it was all about recovery for Zheng Yichai, but The points are now level as Sayana Sririmpilova levels the score at 2 set points apiece. But that 3, well, she'll want to recover from that.
So you notice there that her coach is clipping her shirt, so maybe that's the reason why she had a 3.
Well,
maybe
yeah,
her
that-
string caught on her shirt and caused some drag there to a mistake arrow down low.
That was it. Did you see anything catching there, or is this more about
I did see her
mind over
shirt
matter?
ripple when the string
Right.
went past, so maybe it's something that she felt. So I mean, if that's the thing you need to fix, that's what she fixed. It's really interesting. She's gained a little bit of height on her shots. The rest of Sayana's group is very lateral, very straight line all the way across the target. So I would just be managing my shot right now.
Well, it looks like she's done a bit of correction there. But another opportunity for Zheng here. A 5 to level. Well, that's a 10. And she takes the 3rd set in fine style. A 9 followed by 2 10s. Means she only dropped a single point in that set. And it looks like she's found the center again. Well, a 9 to start that set from Zheng, followed by 2 10s. And that's absolutely right in the middle. And we're here for the next set. Sririmpilova to shoot first.
And she's back in the middle.
She's back in the middle, and she needs to be. Can she keep exerting the pressure with high scores here?
I think she made some kind of correction from that last end, and then now we're back in the middle.
Not happy with that one.
You know, they say a picture paints 1,000 words.
Mhm.
That her face, 1,000 words right there.
Well, that's enough. The set points are there. As Parova and team watch on. Well, it's a match that's a bit like passing a hot potato. First one
No, you
has
have
it.
it. No, you have it. No, you have it.
Yeah, so a 9 and 2 10s from Zheng in the previous set, and then the Russian matches that in this set. There's one of the 10s. The second arrow was in the 10 ring as well. 9 was enough for the third one for Sririmpilova to level up again. A topsy-turvy gold medal match that no one wants to seem to take control of. This for gold here in the women's individual recurve. Well, if this goes to form, Zheng's going to shoot a 10.
Curse of the commentator.
Good grouping from Sayana Sririmpilova. Can Zheng find the middle again? This could put it out of reach.
Long hold.
And you saw again in the face, head in hands there, fingers crossed. A 9 for Zheng to take the gold in Antalya. Oh, she shot a 9 as well. What an amazing match that was. Up and down, back and forth. And just when Surimpilova looked like she had this one in the bag, she shoots a 7 for her final arrow, opened the door, and Zheng Yi-Chai marched through.
A gold for Zheng Yi-Chai, and she guaranteed her place in September's World Cup finals alongside Korea's Kang Chae-young. A fine win for the young Chinese archer in red-hot conditions, and another appearance on top of the podium for in-form Brady Ellison. There's only one round of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup remaining, and that's in Berlin, Germany. We'll see you then.